Alright, what I want to do in this video, we're just going to kind of talk about if you do decide to get your real estate license, what you can do and the access you will have, just like I do. And I'm going to go over a few of the like the mortgage note and things like that you also have on file through the manual that you have. But you can see here I've got access to our MLS, which gives me access to all the properties that are listed, even bank owned. As you can see, I've got a search up here for bank owned. This means short sales, foreclosures, and probate. What I'm going to do is kind of get out of there and kind of show you what I do on a daily basis. I'll look up as is, bank owned, and also corporate owned. You can also go down here and find HUD homes. Of course, wherever you live, it's going to be different in every area, obviously. You can find zip codes, or if you just want to go to a city or town or whatever you want to do, you can pull it up that way. I'm going to do a zip code here. Some areas that we look in all the time, and show you how many properties come up, and kind of show you how I go about doing my searches for these properties. So as soon as this comes up, we'll move forward here. You can see all the properties. I mean, right here there's 15 listed in this zip code that are bank owned, as is, foreclosures, what have you. And I know the areas pretty well, so I can kind of go through here and go, okay, these are the ones we like, these are the ones we don't. I'll show you this property here. You can see it's been on the market for 306 days. This bank's kind of crazy. I don't know what they're doing. We placed offers on this house several times. It's kind of overgrown right now, but this house will, the fair market value after it's rehabbed and stuff is probably about $85,000. And you can see they're asking $19,900 for this property. So they're wanting to get a full price offer. We'll eventually probably get this property for about $15,000, and put 25 in it, so we'll have $40,000 into this property, and we'll have 50% or more equity in this property even after we rehab it. So let's go through a couple others. We've actually have this property here accepted on a short sale. Pull this up and you can kind of see the property. It's not a bad looking property. It's about an $80,000 property, and we've got it accepted at $20,000. It's going to need about $15,000 to $18,000 in rehab, so we'll have about less than $40,000 in it. So there again, we'll have 50% equity in this house after we're done rehabbing that house. There's just, the list goes on and on through here that you can go through. I'm going to revise the search again, and we'll go to a different area to see what else is out there. So let's go to a different zip code. I'll show you a few other homes that are available out there. And these are the homes that are going to sell for between 80 and 120 to 150, which is a good market, especially if you're wanting to sell them quick, or do a lease option, so you can have a positive cash flow also. So there's some properties, there's several properties here that you can see. Right here is a nice HUD-owned property, government-owned property that you can see. Can't really see it too well. I'm going to try to enlarge the picture a little bit, see if it comes up. It may not even pop up. Yep, here it comes. Let's see if we can see it any better. But it's, nah, not really, but it's a nice brick ranch property. They're asking $35,000. You can probably get this property for in the 20s, mid-20s somewhere. And it's an $80,000 to $85,000 property. And I think this property needed about $20,000 in rehab, so you're going to have 60% or more in equity in that property also. So that's kind of how I do my searches on here. If you decide to get your license, it could help you a lot, because you can go through here, find all the bank-owned properties, corporate-owned, HUD-owned properties, as is, distressed. You name it, you can find it. Once you find a list of properties, then you can go out and look at these properties and start bidding on them. Also, I wanted to show you this mortgage note real quick for whenever you find your private investors. You can go through and do your mortgage note, and you can see, ask for the date of the closing, the city and state, county, and then the property address of the property you're buying. And then here's the borrower stuff right here. What it asks for is basically your name or your company name, promises to pay U.S. whatever you borrow from your private investor will be the amount here, and then obviously the private investor's name or company name here. And you'll go down, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You'll go down and ask for the interest rate and when the charge will begin, and you don't want it to begin to the closing date, obviously, so that would go right here. And then the payments, this is important here. What I always do is I will make one payment of the full amount, excuse me, upon closing of the property after you rehab it and you sell it, or refinance it, however you're going to do it, because you don't want to be making monthly payments to your investor. You just want to make one balloon payment at the end. And you can go through here and you'll see, it talks about the balloon payment and all that stuff. So, just go through this. It's pretty, like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. All you have to do is read through it, and you'll be able to understand exactly, how this mortgage note works. But it's a very important part of, the security for your private investor on them getting the real estate secured, because like I said, what this note will do is you will give it to the closer at the closing, let them know that you need that this mortgage note notarized and recorded down at the county court office. That way there will be a lien on the property and you can't do anything with this property without your private investor knowing. So it is a big deal, and it really makes the private investors a lot more secure in giving you the money. So this was just a quick video on the mortgage note, and also the access that you can get from if you do get your real estate license. You can see that you can get great access, and the thing I like about this also is, if you get your real estate license, it only takes a few weeks to get, but beyond that you don't have to wait on realtors to look up properties for you, send them to you. Maybe they're not sending the right ones, because a lot of realtors just look up bank owned, and that's all they look up. They don't look at the price, the area, or anything like that. And I've gotten good enough. I know the areas. As soon as I see the properties, I know which ones I want to look at and which ones I don't. So you might look into getting your real estate license eventually, but to start out with, to get started quick, just find you a nice realtor that you can work with, and they will work with the criteria that you set for them. All right.